Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first webinar from the new webinar series from socialsandy.com. Today's webinar is an introduction to social media marketing, and it's hosted through our new education center, socialsandy.com, Social Commerce Education. Everybody's able to get a free basic membership, and for upgraded benefits you can join our Maven membership level. In addition to membership benefits, we always have these small classes that are online, they're live, and they offer focused learning in a private forum for students to engage with instructors, sort of like small group coaching on specific topics. This is a list of our upcoming classes, and everybody here, of course, is invited to sign up and register for them. This month in July, we're going to be focusing mostly on social media, getting people started. So we have how to build a Facebook page, how to optimize a Facebook page if you're already established and want to just take it to the next level. We've got newbie Twitter marketing, basics of social media marketing with Google+, enhanced Pinterest marketing, and where did I put that? How to create an inventory management system focused on eBay sellers, and that's going to be presented by Karen Locker, who's an experienced e-commerce coach. What we're going to cover today, we're going to talk in general about social media marketing. We're going to define it and talk about some of the key concepts. Next, we're going to look at the primary social media marketing channels used in the United States. That's going to include Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube, and Google+. Then we'll talk a little bit about content marketing, which is a great approach to using social media marketing. We'll talk about how to get started, and then we'll also wrap up with measuring results. So let's get started. So what is social media marketing? Let's start with what it is not. This is a post off of my Facebook page. This is my personal Facebook feed. Somebody on Etsy was selling an item, and it looks to me like it was maybe a dolphin bookmark, and she just had a poorly cropped image. She didn't add any context or any content at the beginning, and she just kind of spammed this out in a Facebook feed. This one came from a Facebook group, which I'm no longer a member of. And you can see it doesn't offer a whole lot of context. Simply putting your item out there for people to see it on social media in groups is not effective. Social media marketing is really important. For context, 73% of online adults now use social networking sites, and 42% of online adults are on multiple social networking platforms. So being out there where the people are is extremely important if you want them to see your products. So here's what social media marketing is. It's a two-way conversation with your followers. It's them talking to you, you talking to them. You can build relationships with people based on trust using social media marketing. They can get to know you not just as an eBay seller or somebody with a thing for sale. They get to know you as a person and learn a little bit more about you and your interests, and that can help build a better buyer-seller relationship over time. Social media marketing is using new technologies to reach anyone, anywhere, anytime. Generally, we talk about Facebook and Twitter and networks like that, but if you think about it, email can be a type of social media marketing, as can blogging. Social media marketing is getting visibility for yourself, your brand, and your products off the marketplace. So that perhaps you're an eBay seller, it's a way people can find you off eBay. And the more places you are where your shoppers are, the more likely you are to find them. And social media marketing is maintaining engagement with customers after that first sale. Perhaps they bought something from you, you invite them to follow you on Twitter, and then you stay in their Twitter feed and you stay in their mind, and maybe they'll come back and shop with you again. Social media marketing is extremely mobile. There are, as of November of last year, there are 189 million mobile-only Facebook users. That is a lot of people. These are people who never open a desktop computer to go on Facebook. Instagram is a purely social media channel, purely mobile social media channel. If you're on Instagram, you're not going to Instagram.com on the desktop. You're going to Instagram on your smartphone. And this statistic was crazy. 75% of all Pinterest usage is on a mobile device. I like Pinterest on my desktop because I like to see all the big pictures all over the place. But 75% of Pinterest usage is on iPads and other tablets, on smartphones, and it's not on the computer. People are using Pinterest, I guess, when they're in a hurry and waiting in line, or more casual, sitting on the couch watching TV. They're not using it at their desks. I want to help people have a sense of what social media marketing can do for you. So social media marketing can help you build a following, and by that I mean it helps you find a dedicated source of interested possible shoppers. It can help you build your brand. The more social media presence you have, the easier it is for people to trust you. If they know you're on Facebook and on Twitter and on Pinterest, they know you've been on these sites for a while. The longer you have that relationship growing, the longer you have that presence growing, it shows stability, and it helps build your reputation and helps build trust. Social media marketing is also really good for search engine optimization, and the new phrase now is OAO, or online audience optimization, because websites like Google and Bing are actually using social signals to determine if product pages should rank higher or lower. It's certainly not the only determinant, but social is now a factor in search engine results. So the more social you are, the better chance you have to improve your rank when you're out on somebody's looking for you in a search engine. And social media marketing is about increased sales over time. I want everyone to understand it is not going to surge your sales overnight. Social media marketing is a way, think of it as a marathon and not as a sprint. It's a way to slowly build up a reputation and slowly build up a presence where people will follow you and eventually they convert to customers. You will have the instant gratification from the occasional sale when you share interesting items on social media. But the most benefits you're going to get, the SEO results, the loyalty, the brand building, those are going to take place over time. So who should use social media marketing? I want you to know right away, I don't advocate social media marketing for everybody. There is no one-size-fits-all. It doesn't exist. People who should consider social media marketing for their e-commerce business are established sellers who've got a stable company and who want to take it for the next level. These are folks, they've been on eBay, they've been on Etsy, they've been selling for 6 months or more perhaps. They feel they've got a sense of how the internal search works for that platform. You have sales growth. You're reaching your customers, you know how to write a good listing, and you're ready to take on your next task to grow your business even further. The new sellers I recommend to start with social media marketing are sellers who want to grow, who are coming in here with the intent to build a business and grow a business. I don't recommend social media marketing if you're just testing the e-commerce water, so to speak, dipping your toe in. I don't recommend it if you're a very part-time seller who just sells a little bit for fun on the weekends. It's not for you. This social media marketing is work and it takes time. If you're just getting started, you have to learn your platform. You have to learn how to succeed on that platform, how to satisfy customers, what all the rules are. Do all of that first. Save social media marketing for the next phase. We're going to talk about the most popular social media channels in the United States, and today we're going to focus on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube. Facebook is the big elephant in the room. It is the #2 most visited website in the world, and that is also true if you look at the smaller set in the United States. 1 in 5 pages viewed on the internet are viewed on Facebook. I want you to think about that for a second. 20% of all traffic on the internet, pages that are opened up, 20% of all those pages are Facebook pages. Facebook has, as of last fall, 1.9 billion active users, of which about half use mobile. So people may use mobile only, they may use mobile plus desktop, but almost 1 billion people, 874 million people, are using mobile for Facebook. Facebook is now used by 45% of all adults over age 65, and that is only growing. The reason for that is Facebook works really nicely on tablets like iPads, and the older demographic, they want to see pictures of the grandkids, the great-grandkids. They get on Facebook to see that, and they do it on tablets is where they're coming in. Now, Facebook is a little bit unique in that it uses an algorithm to determine what shows up in a feed when somebody is following a business or has Facebook friends. Only 3 to 5% of your posts are going to appear in your followers' feeds at any given time. Now, if a post is extra popular, it will be sent to more people. It doesn't seem like very much. Only 3 or 5% of what you're pushing out to your Facebook page is getting shown to people. But keep in mind what we talked about earlier. There's bigger benefits. There's brand building. There's trust building. It's having a presence so people can find you if they're looking for you. So Facebook is still extremely relevant. Now, the demographics on Facebook have been changing very quickly. Remember, when Facebook launched, it was launched only to college students, and it was limited to college campuses. But that changed. It was opened up to the general public. And now the fastest growing segment is age 55 up. A lot of the millennials are generally considered people born 1980 or later. Millennials are leaving Facebook as a daily social network because, you know, their cousins are on it, their moms are on it. They don't want their parents finding out what they're up to. They're still on there, and they're still very relevant as an audience, but just bear in mind they're not there for their daily conversations. The people who are there, it's a trending older demographic. Now, Facebook, most of us are familiar with. You know, you have videos, you have text, you have pictures, and Twitter, you can do all that too, but Twitter was primarily born as a micro-blogging site similar to text messaging. Posts are limited to only 140 characters that include spaces, and Twitter is extremely public. Anything you say on Twitter goes out to what we call the Twitter sphere, and everyone in the world can access what you write on Twitter. So you want to be very careful about what you're posting out there. Hashtags were born on Twitter, and hashtag is very simply putting that little pound sign in front of a word, and I've got a demonstration how I have it in front of the word hashtag here. That means it's an important keyword to pay attention to. So I like the example of Ben & Jerry's maybe promoting a new ice cream flavor. They'll put hashtag ice cream, and then people who are interested in ice cream can find them. Twitter is used by 31% of all Internet users ages 18 to 29. And Twitter growth is happening in all different demographics. Twitter is getting larger. Now, it used to be Twitter was text only, but now you can see some photos and even some videos right inside of your Twitter feed. And you don't even have to do a double click. There's something called a Twitter card, which is the way you can put information out there in a certain way. And when you do that, the photos and the videos appear clearly. And different than Facebook, 100% of your posts are going to show up in the feeds of your followers. Twitter feeds are chronological. There's a tiny segment at the top for most popular posts. Everything below that is purely chronological. So posts show up in the time that they went out. Now, if you have a follower who's only following 10 people, obviously it's going to be much more relevant than if you have a follower who's following 10,000 people, because if they're following 10,000 people, you're going to flash off of their feed very quickly. Google Plus works quite differently. It is a social media network, and it isn't a social media network. Google Plus describes it as a layer of social media that integrates with all things Google. So Google Maps, Google Voice, all the different Google apps work together with Google Plus, and it's a really great way to build trust because people can +1 you in Google+, and that'll show up in a Google search result. Google is also really good for search engine optimization, what I call gold, because Google owns this river, so to speak, of traffic coming through Google+, they give it priority. Google has been explicit in saying this. Also YouTube, you're going to get priority in search ranks, so it's a very important way to get ranked quickly. Right now there's over 1 billion Google Plus enabled accounts. That's a little bit misleading because anybody with an Android phone and anybody with YouTube pretty much has a Google Plus account. That's how integrated it is to everything else. Google Plus has reached 359 million active monthly users, and it's growing at a rate of 33% per year. Anything that grows at 33% per year, that's really healthy growth, so pay attention to it. There have been some rumors Google's going to get rid of it, it's going away, it's a flop, it's all nonsense. The data Google is getting through Google Plus is invaluable. It may evolve, to be sure, but it is not going anywhere. The 45 to 54-year-old bracket increased its usage on Google Plus by 56% in the last 2 years. And hashtags are important for trending on Google Plus. If you don't assign a hashtag, Google Plus generally assigns one for you. So let's go back to that Ben & Jerry's example. If you know Ben & Jerry's puts out there, Ben & Jerry's is excited to announce our new ice cream flavor. Well, Google Plus may decide Ben & Jerry's is more important, so it may assign Ben & Jerry's hashtag. But you think ice cream is more important, so you want to make sure you put hashtag ice cream. You can overwrite what it decides. On to Pinterest. Pinterest, everybody knows it's extremely visual. Every Pinterest post has either a photo or a video. Every single one. There is no such thing as a text-only Pinterest post. Really popular in Pinterest are fashion, home decor, and recipes. People use Pinterest like a search engine. You know, on Twitter, on Facebook, people are there to talk to each other. On Pinterest, people go there to share ideas, to get inspired, to keep track of things that they found interesting. You know, perhaps they're planning a vacation. You may have a board of places you want to go on vacation so that when you go to make your plan, you've got your ideas all in one place. Perhaps you're looking for a recipe and say you want to do vegetarian cooking, so you can look just for vegetarian recipes inside of Pinterest. People aren't even going to Google in many cases. They're going right to Pinterest. 33% of all women who are online and 8% of all men who are online as of late last summer are using Pinterest. And the average Pinterest user is slightly more affluent than the average Facebook or Twitter user. One other point of interest, I haven't got the source for this in front of me, but this is data that came out of the UK in the last few weeks. I saw a statistic that said 25% of all retail traffic originates on Pinterest. And just think about that for a moment. 1 in 4 purchases in some way came from Pinterest, whether it is somebody clicking through and buying an item on the spot, or somebody organizing their thoughts, planning a vacation, and then going to the travel agent to make the purchase. Pinterest is very involved in retail, so you definitely want to be here if you have a highly visual product and you hit the right demographics. 50% of site visits that come through Pinterest happen after 3.5 months of when the pin went up. Pins have extremely powerful longevity on Pinterest. On Twitter, on Facebook, on Twitter, if you don't have if somebody doesn't click through in the next couple hours, it's gone. On Facebook, if someone doesn't click through in the next couple of hours, maybe the end of the day, they're not going to see it. On Pinterest, think about this again. Half of all site visits happen more than 3.5 months after the pin first went up. What does this mean for us as sellers? It means we want to make sure that that post, that link that we're pinning to is going to stay valid. For this reason, if you're on Pinterest, I'm going to advocate you do not use auctions, you do not use 30-day. What you're doing is using good to cancel. Especially if you have a high multi-quantity item that you can restock. Then that pin will just keep working and working and working for you until you're sold out. Promoted pins are coming soon for marketers. That being said, if you don't have your own website, you're not going to be able to verify on Pinterest. And if you can't verify, you can't pay for advertising. But I do want to put it out there that promoted pins, I think I've seen some verbiage where they're calling it do-it-yourself pins. They are coming very soon. People will be able to pay for placement for pins. And hashtags work. So how do you use a hashtag on Pinterest? Use the hashtag that summarizes the category. So if perhaps you sell vegan cookbooks, you'll want to use hashtag vegan, and then put maybe hashtag recipes, something like that, so that people can more easily find your items. Okay? Instagram is really fun and really popular, and it's mobile, 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 baby. Instagram.com is available. You can kind of browse through there and look at pictures, but it's very awkward to use. It's very stripped down. If you want to be active on Instagram, you need to be active on your smartphone or other mobile device. Instagram is more popular with people who live in urban areas. And 37% of all the adults on the internet who are ages 18 to 29 are using Instagram right now. So that's huge. Almost 40% of people in that certain demographic. Hashtags are important for search on Instagram. The difference with all of the other networks we've talked about and Instagram for hashtags, you can only put a hashtag in your original post. If you're dropping hashtags into comments on somebody else's post, those hashtags will not be searchable. So that's just, it's a quirk, and be aware of that. Also, Instagram is a little strange because you can't put links to, you can put links to items in your comments, in your posts, but they're not going to be hyperlinks. The only hyperlinks on Instagram is the hyperlink in your personal or business profile. If you put a link to an item, it is not going to be clickable if you put it inside the post, which creates a real challenge for marketers. Doesn't mean Instagram isn't important. It is very important, but the importance is going to perhaps lie more on brand building and sharing inspiration and raising awareness, and less on sharing products and getting direct clicks to sell items. And Instagram is in the process of developing and rolling out a paid advertising option, so just to be aware of that. YouTube reaches more adults in the United States, ages 18 to 34, than any cable network. I want you to think about that for a second. We're talking, it reaches more people than HBO, the Food Network, PBS, Nickelodeon, whatever channel is on your TV. YouTube is reaching more people 18 to 34 than any other network out there. That is insane because it's free to be on YouTube. It doesn't cost anything to be on YouTube. If you're an advertiser on one of those TV networks, you're paying through the nose for that ad. YouTube reaches more people in this demographic. It's the second largest search engine anywhere after Google.com. And for millennials, again, the general concept is millennials as people born 1980 and later. For millennials, it's the #1 search engine. They're not even going to Google to look up, you know, how to make a duct tape dress for my prom. They're going right to YouTube to look at how to make a duct tape dress for my prom. So people are going there. YouTube videos can be shared on Facebook and Pinterest, and on those two networks, they actually play right inside the window, so people don't have to go back to YouTube to watch the video. They don't have to double-click. YouTube has reached 1 billion active monthly users. Think about that. 1 billion. That's roughly 1 in 6 people on the planet are actively using YouTube. And because YouTube is a Google product, it is absolutely precious to enhance your search engine rankings. So it is SEO gold. I want to share an experiment I did with you. Back in January, I did a little test post, and I pushed it out. This is just a photo post. I pushed it out to Facebook, to Twitter, to Instagram, and to Pinterest. The post is a coffee mug. I wrote the copy a little bit differently for each of the different social media channels I was on, because every social media channel has a slightly different native voice. Has a different personality. People use it a little bit differently, so I kept that in mind. And on Facebook and Pinterest, my objective was to drive traffic to a specific eBay store, and not just to the store. Inside the store, I did a search for coffee mugs. So this is the store. It is Save a Lot 2009, and I don't know, I may or may not know this person. I just thought they had an attractive store, great photography, and some nice coffee mugs to share. So this is how I ended up here. And if you see in the top left corner, it says Store Search. I put the word mug and I hit search. And these were my results. At the top of the screen, it gave me a long URL. And I copy and pasted that long URL because built into that URL was the search parameter. So what I did was I shortened it using a link shortener. The specific one I used is free. It's called goo.gl, G-O-O.gl. And if you have a free Google account, you can get that as well. And goo.gl will let you track how many people are clicking your links. Okay? So on Facebook and Pinterest, I was trying to drive traffic to this coffee mug search. On Instagram and Twitter, I had a different objective. I was trying to get engagement with people. I was trying to build some brand awareness, and I was also trying to let people know, hey, you're following me on channel A, but did you know I'm also on social network channel B? So what I did in Facebook is, this is the photograph. It was my coffee from the morning. I took a picture. I added a caption that says, nothing is more decadent than that first sip. And my copy at the top says, shouldn't your coffee have a mug that's worthy? And first thing in the morning, people may believe their coffee needs to be in a coffee-worthy mug, because at 7 a.m., coffee is a very precious commodity. And then you see the shortened link that'll go back to that eBay store. I used the same picture on Pinterest, except I changed the copy, the text that I wrote at the bottom. The original image with the text on the image is the same, but below it I said, nothing is more decadent than that first sip, #coffee. On Instagram, I added a filter to kind of soften up and give a little bit of a glow to the image. Used the same caption as on Pinterest. I said, nothing is more decadent than that first sip, #coffee. And then when I put it on Instagram, I pushed it to Twitter inside Instagram. And what this does is lets my Twitter followers know, hey, I'm on Instagram too. Look at this picture I took. You can follow me over there. And of course, #coffee. Now, this doesn't show the image because Instagram and Twitter are having a little spat. It's been going on for several months. But even so, the copy itself should work. Nothing is more decadent than that first sip, #coffee. First thing in the morning, people will see that. They may respond. We'll see how it goes. And here's what this looks like all together. You can see how each one is slightly different. And I'm going to come back to you with results in just a minute. So let's talk about content marketing. Content marketing, just roughly, it's creating and curating information and bringing it to your followers on the internet to grow your audience. And by curating, I mean you're carefully selecting other people's content. That's all that means. So what resources do you need to do this? You need about 2 hours a week to do it right if you want 1 post per day. I would recommend you do 1 post per day. Facebook especially, because it's so algorithm driven, if you're not posting on Facebook, you're going to reach less and less and less people with each new post until somebody starts engaging with a post that you put out. So I'd say about 1 post a day, and 2 hours on the weekends. You can schedule it all out ahead. Just bear in mind you can't schedule for Pinterest. What does it cost? It's not going to cost you anything to start. because social media marketing is free. But after you sort of hit a plateau, your follower growth starts to stagnate, set a budget of $30 to $50 a month and start testing, and then see how you can use better posts and inexpensive marketing on Facebook and Twitter to reach more people. These are some of the fundamentals of social media marketing as defined by Gary Vaynerchuk. And he says, number one, understand the nuance of your platform. Understand that reaching people on Instagram, they're expecting a different way of communication than people on Twitter. Instagram is all about the visual. It's all about a dreamy photograph. It's all about sharing pictures. Twitter is about sharing little bursts of often sarcastic, often witty commentary on the world around us. So understand that each platform has its own unique personality, and you need to make sure you adapt what you're sharing to that platform. Use a distinct voice in your social media marketing. Use a consistent voice and make sure it's your own. Every post needs to come genuinely from inside of you and your personality, so make sure you don't hide that. Don't try to be something that you're not on social media marketing. Just be you, sharing what you're interested in with people who share your interests. And when you're doing social media marketing, always make sure you're focusing on driving your business goals. Every business has a different goal. Your goal may be to raise money for a nonprofit organization that you're supporting. Your goal may be to build brand awareness in social media marketing. It may be to build trust. And of course, I think we would all share the commonality. One of your business goals is to sell more product and to make more money for your business. So always keep in mind the different business goals you're working towards as you go through creating social media content. But why will people follow you? This is a big question I get all the time. Who's going to follow me? Nobody wants to follow me. Why will they follow me? It's all about what you offer on your content. People will follow you if you're adding content that enhances their lives in a way that they value. People will follow you if you are making them laugh, cry, smile. If you're sharing something that just hits their funny bone, they'll engage with that. Make an emotional connection. Always try to use your be original and use a natural voice that's purely you. Remember, with social media marketing, it's all about your audience. You need to reflect their interests, because their interests may not correspond to your intent with the post. Your intent may be to sell more stuff. Their interest may be in playing tennis. So if you're somebody who sells tennis equipment, you can share articles about how to improve your backhand. You can share videos about, perhaps there's a technique if you're playing doubles that can be more effective so you're not tripping over each other. A video that shows improved communication between players in the middle of a game. They may be interested in how to get the best deal on tennis balls, because when you buy tennis balls, they can get expensive over time. If all you're doing is pushing out, look at this new racket, look at this new glove, look at this new outfit, look at this new shoe, your audience isn't going to respond. But if you pepper that in with, oh, here's how you improve your backhand, and here's better communication on the court, and oh, look, we have a new tennis racket just came in, we've got a great deal, they'll actually listen, and sometimes they will come in and buy it from you. Gary Vaynerchuk also recommends you offer something called infotainment or inspiration. And always make sure whatever you're sharing is done in a way that's native to the channel that you're using a voice that fits the personality of the platform that you're on. Now, this is the fundamental question you always have to ask yourself before you decide to share content. Would I engage with that if I saw it in my feed? If somebody put that in my feed, would I like it? Would I comment on it? Would I share it? Would I respond to it? If the answer is no, don't put it out there. Don't even waste your time. If you're not interested enough to share your own content, who else is going to be? Okay, so let's bring it all together. These were the posts that I showed you earlier, and of course on the left is Facebook, in the center is Pinterest, on the right is Instagram, and then in the bottom center we have Twitter. And these were the numbers. It went up at 8 a.m. local time for me back in January, and then 4 o'clock the same day, I had a major success on Facebook and Instagram, and a complete miss on Pinterest and Twitter. Remember how we talked about on Facebook that the percentage of an audience, not everybody sees your posts, so I focused on the percentage of my audience that saw the post. 17% of the people who saw the post engaged with it. On Instagram, 20% of the people who saw the post engaged with it. Pinterest and Twitter is a complete total flop. Nobody engaged with it at all. So what this tells us is you always need to test what works on the different networks and learn from that. So I know I can do more of this on Facebook and Instagram, and I know I need to try something different on Pinterest and Twitter because it didn't work. So ABT, always be testing. Okay? So how do you get started? On Facebook, Google, and YouTube, it's a little bit different. First thing you have to do is create a personal account. After you create a personal account, then you can create a business page, or on YouTube they call it a channel. On Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, you can go straight into creating a business account. So how do you set this up? First thing you're going to do is make sure you're using strong keywords in your descriptions. Just like you have to use strong keywords when you write your listing titles so that they can be found in eBay search, Amazon search, Etsy search, and Google search, you need to use strong keywords in your descriptions so that they can get found in the social media search, internal search. You need to fill in all of the description fields. Now, Facebook gives you an incredible myriad of fields to fill in on your business page. The only one I'm going to caution you not to fill in at this time, if you work from a home business, don't put your street address, and you may not want to put your phone number. You may want to offer a phone number, and if you go to voice.google.com, I think for $5 you can get a dedicated online phone number. You pay a 5-time fee once, and that way people can call you, and it will get forwarded to your email in a text, and they will actually convert it to a typed out message, and you can listen to the audio and hear the message yourself. But if you work from home, don't put your home phone number, don't put your street address, just for privacy and security reasons. But do put your city and state, because that way you can build trust with people. They can get a sense of where you are. You may have that in connection and be like, hey, I'm in Kentucky too. Cool, I'm buying from one of my neighbors. So that's what you do with that. Build out everything you possibly can. Make sure you're using really high quality images as your cover and header photos and as your profile picture. Make sure the images are cropped well and that they're not stretched and distorted. And whenever possible, cross-link your social presence on each social media channel. And I'm going to have a resource for you in socialsandy.com that makes it really easy to share your Pinterest, your Twitter, your YouTube, all inside of Facebook. So if you go to socialsandy.com, find our resources page, you're going to see that there by tomorrow. Now you need to start to find followers. So to do that on social media, you have to be social. I need you to explicitly reach out to your family and friends in private messages and ask them to not only follow you, but to share the page with their family and friends. Don't just put a blast out on your personal Facebook page that says, hey, my new page is up, follow me, because you're going to have a dreadful response. Not everybody's going to see it. If you take the time to go through and send a private message to, say, 100 people, it won't take you very long. You're just copy and pasting the same message. Send a private message to about 100 people that you know well, that you know personally, and say, Cousin Kathy, I've been doing this eBay business. Well, I've just put up my Facebook business page. I'm trying to grow my following. Can you do me a favor and like my page, and would you mind also sharing it with your friends so that they can like it as well? It's a great way to get a starting point for your audience. The next thing you want to do is follow other pages and people who may have complementary interests to what you sell. Share their content, and then hopefully eventually they will share yours back. I'll give you an example. My eBay business is Office Threads. I sell office clothing for women. I follow a company called Classy Career Gal. She's a business coach for women who are going from college to the workforce. I sell the clothes. She shares the advice. So I share her information on my Facebook page quite frequently, and she shares mine back. We have a great synergy. We really support each other. So find somebody similar to that for yourself. And I want to give you a case study of somebody who's doing a really great job with social media marketing. This is Kathy Terrell. She's a good eBay friend of mine. Seller ID is New York's NYC Fitness Family Finds. And Kathy has a great Facebook page that focuses on her living in Manhattan and the things she enjoys in her life. And it's very focused on New York City, so right there she's got a great theme that people can be drawn to. She shares a lot of original content. She takes pictures of New York City. She shares snow pictures in the winter and flowery pictures in the spring at the parks. She does a really excellent balance of selling and not selling, and by that I mean she shares items for sale periodically, but she also shares articles about, where to travel in New York, where to eat, what restaurants. One of her main interests is exercise and fitness, so she'll share articles about that. And she uses a very authentic and genuine voice. If you know Kathy and you go to this page, you hear her voice in your head. This is definitely her being natural and genuine. And she speaks to people in language and manner that is very Facebook-centric. That's her Facebook page at the top, NYC Fitness Family and Finds, if you want to go ahead and find her. And then we're going to shift into measuring results. I will be doing a video shortly. You'll find it in the socialsandy.com Education Center and on our YouTube channel. And what I'll do is talk about how you can read the data from eBay traffic reports. For right now, know that it's included with your eBay store subscription. Your traffic report will tell you how much traffic is on your item pages and where your traffic is coming from. So you may see, okay, in the month of May, I had 25,000 visitors, traffic of 25,000 hits on my pages. And then it will break down. It will say, well, this percentage was all from eBay, and this percentage came from Google, and this percentage came from Facebook. So you can actually see where your traffic is coming from. Unfortunately, what it won't tell you is where your sales are coming from, because even though you have 25,000 traffic hits, perhaps you only have 150 sales, hypothetically. It won't tell you of that 150 sales how much came from eBay, how much came from Google, how much came from Facebook. At this time, eBay is just not sharing that data with us. The next thing I want to show you as a way to kind of measure your progress is Klout.com. So Klout's going to give you a social media score based on over 1,000 different factors. It's great to kind of take the pulse of your social effectiveness, but I don't want you to worry about micromanaging the score. You can have a personal or you can have a business account. I have one of each. And Bing.com is a competitor to Google.com. That's the Microsoft search engine. They actually factor Klout scores into search results. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to circle back. I said don't assign too much value to your score, but do pay attention to it. This is what I mean. If you have a Klout score of about 15 to 20, that's where everybody starts before they've done really any strategic social media marketing. So you know, okay, it's 15 to 20. It's not very good. Let me see what I can do. I have a pulse. That's what it means. Let me see what I can do. Then perhaps you see in 2 months after your work, maybe you've got it up to 25 to 30. So you can see, oh, okay, I'm reaching more people, I'm having better engagement, my score is going up. Then you'll have a score of 40, you'll have a score of 50. So watch your cloud score over time, make sure it's trending in the right direction, but don't worry about day-to-day micromanaging, because you may go from a 54 to a 52 in 1 week and then come right back up to a 53. So look at it over time, big picture, don't focus on the day-to-day. Just to give you an example, this is what my cloud score looked like this morning. I currently have a cloud score of 65, which I'm pretty excited about. Cloud lets me upload an avatar. I can share a little sentence about myself, similar to Twitter. On the left, it tells you which networks you're working in contribute to your cloud score. And I know 65% of my score comes from Facebook, 30% from Twitter, and so on and so on. Another fun feature in Cloud is you can search your competition, and you can get a sense of how well they are doing in social media. So you use the search feature on your Cloud screen. That brownish-grayish box is actually in the top left corner. And you can just search, put in the name of the business or the name of the person that you're competing against and see what they're doing. You might find they're doing something really effective. It's that they've got a really high score. You can learn from that and use it to inform how you're going forward social media marketing. Well, these are some tools that you can use to help you with your social media marketing. Socialbeacon.com will import eBay, Etsy, and Amazon listings inside socialbeacon.com. And so if you want to share an item for sale, you can just click it inside the tool. You don't have to go out to eBay and then come back into Social Beacon after copying and pasting the link. It's really, really fun, really fast, and it's got some nice analytics in there to help you know how well you're doing. Fruit Social is eBay only. It's in the eBay App Center. And Hootsuite.com is available with a free basic membership. If you can pay to play, you can pay a little bit to upgrade to some better features. Of the three of these, for smaller e-commerce sellers, one channel, maybe two channels, I actually recommend socialbeacon.com. It's free at this time, and I think it's the most robust of all of these tools. And thank you again, everybody, for coming. I hope I've helped answer some basic social media questions. You're all invited to come and join the Social Commerce Education Center. Basic membership is free for everybody, and our Maven level members are going to get additional benefits. If you sign up for any of our classes, which do have a small charge, bear in mind these classes are always live, they're online, they offer very focused learning and very private learning. They're limited to 23 or 24 students each. And it's almost like a little group coaching session on a specific topic. It's much more cost effective than hiring a private coach if you just need to kind of hone in on one skill. Now, I mentioned our Maven level membership. We have a special webinar coming up for Mavens only, and that's Down and Dirty SEO for eBay sellers. I did the Top Rated Seller webinar in May. It was a great event. The topic was Search, SEO, Cassini, and the Impossible Dream. It was very theoretical, helped people understand the fundamentals of search engines, what they do, and how they work. What we're going to do in this webinar on July 16th for our Mavens is we're actually going to roll up our sleeves, get down and dirty, get into your eBay stores, start rebuilding your eBay stores, and start applying search engine optimization tactics into your stores, into your listings in ways we did not talk about in the last webinar because we would have been on a call for 4 hours last time. So if you want to have access to this, join as a Maven and you will get access to this. We'll have a very special Maven webinar every month that is private only to Mavens. And these are the upcoming classes we have. You don't have to be a member to take a class, but you do get a discount if you are a member of the Social Sandy Education Center. And so we have July 2nd, how to build a Facebook page. July 9th, Facebook page optimization. If you've already got a Facebook page, you don't have to build it from scratch. You want to be there July 9th, not July 2nd. July 10th, newbie Twitter marketing. We're going to start from scratch. Just how do you do Twitter? How do you talk to people? How do you do Twitter ads? We're going to cover everything in that Twitter class. July 15th, the basics of social media marketing with Google+. July 16th, we're going to do enhanced Pinterest marketing. Now, I've already done 2 top-rated seller webinars on Pinterest. They're in the Social Sandy Education Center. They're free. Go ahead and watch them. That's where you start if you just need a basic foundation. Enhanced Pinterest marketing, sorry, is going to take everything to the next level. We're going to use some really powerful search engine optimization tactics and rebuild your pages and your listings in ways that you're going to scale traffic very quickly. And I'm super excited. Karen Locker, who's a very experienced e-commerce coach, is going to do a class for us on July 18th, and it's called Where Did I Put That? Create an Inventory Management System, and it's going to be focused on inventory management for eBay sellers. Karen is awesome, and she's going to take this very scary concept of inventory management, what's my cost of goods sold, all of that, and bring it down to a level that's very digestible, simple steps, and you're going to have it under control in no time. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. It has been my pleasure. Again, you're my inaugural webinar attendees for the very first SocialSandy.com webinar series. Thank you so much, and I'll see you online.